Hey everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies. This is Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 1122. I'm one of your hosts, Rory DC.
I can't get my intro.
What?
You know who I am. I'm in every episode.
And you watch every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you haven't, shame on you for not watching every single one.
Aaron will put up a dazzling 30-second long custom graphic display.
You bet I won't. Sandy's back.
Yeah.
Bam.
I'm Adam.
What are you doing here?
I had nothing better to do tonight.
Oh, okay.
Was that my Kuruma?
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
You know
How'd you
it.
get that in?
Well, actually, the Kuruma would probably be the
Worst car.
this one right here.
Yeah.
Because the
Lancer.
Kuruma is based on, well, it's Toyota, so it would be a Lancer. I can drive this. Let's drive that. We're playing Dirt 4 because we had no idea what else to play, and we hadn't done anything in this yet. So
Also, nothing happened this week.
again, another
Nothing.
lull week.
Literally nothing. When the biggest news that came out this week is that the voice actor Kermit the Frog got sacked. Got the axe.
Yeah.
And
So, let's talk about that.
He didn't even get the axe this week. He got it back in October, and he just didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah, so they got a new Kermit the Frog. The old Kermit the Frog is very disappointed. He's been doing Kermit the Frog for since 1990, so it's 27 years.
So the guy's name is Steve Whitmire.
He really didn't want to give up the role.
No.
Sorry, Steve.
And he was replaced by a fellow voice actor who's done a lot of the other Muppets. I think the guy who was replacing him did a bunch of the members of Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem and all those guys. And he's been doing Kermit for like 27 years. I don't know why he was fired, and nobody can seem to find out why he was
it didn't
fired.
seem like they knew what the reasoning was.
Yeah, he was just... And if the guy knows
Probably had
himself,
sex with a bunch of people's wives or something.
He mentioned
Allegedly.
He mentioned that he suspected there was this specific reason, some complaint or something, but he didn't elaborate.
Maybe somebody was like, "Man, I really don't like this guy's Kermit," and it just took him 3 decades to be like.
Yeah, but he's been Kermit since like 1989.
I know, and it's taken this guy this long to say something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's
So
like,
just takes
"All
a
right,
big step back. It's like,
That's enough."
Are you liking? I'm not really going. You're not either. You know what? Let's get a new guy.
Yeah. So they got a new Kermit. I hope the new Kermit is good.
You don't give a shit if the new
so
Kermit.
hard.
What the fuck do you mean?
I'm trying to pretend to care about this.
Why don't you care, Roy? Muppets are cool and kind of a big deal.
Yeah, Muppets are definitely cool, if nothing else.
Oh man, Roy, you can't say fucking shit because you go home and immediately memorize spreadsheets about fucking characters, frame transition graphics.
I'm just saying, I'm not a
Package
Muppets
7.
fan, so I can't possibly care about this Muppets issue.
Why don't we talk about fucking spreadsheets for the next hour and a half then, Roy?
I do remember I once, I knew this guy, this taxi driver, and I once asked him what his favorite band was. I was a kid, and he said, The Muppets. And I'm never going to forget that. That's why.
There
Was
are
that
no less
Jordan?
than 2 bands in the Muppets, so he's going to have to be more specific.
So that's, I mean, I literally will never forget that. I mean, wow, okay.
It's like we're really in the
like,
game.
I just drove past my house.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
But yeah, I mean, I do hope, like, for the sake of Muppets fans, that the new guy is good. I don't want him to be bad. Like, you're right, Muppets do have a lot of fans. They are important, so you want anybody who's doing it to do a good job.
Can you tell Roy's not interested in this at all?
I mean, like...
Why are the windscreen wipers on? It's
I don't know.
not raining, dumbass.
It's getting dust off the screen. I don't know. I didn't. Touch
I think
it.
Troy Baker probably do a pretty good Kermit.
Troy Baker.
That's who they should have got.
No.
I forgot what the button is. Oh, well.
For what? The windshield
For the
wipers?
wipers, yeah.
The button for the windshield wipers?
I hope
Yeah,
it makes
you
it
can
like
map them.
really annoying, like up because it's not the right blade, and it's like
Oh, all right.
yeah.
Get away, Bush.
Hard off the course there. It's going to cost you a few seconds there, Aaron. Medium 3 left or whatever. Right 2. I don't know.
All right. Well, you talk about your favorite Muppet then, Adam.
Well, I mean, there's so many.
Talk to
Probably-
us
probably
about
actually
some of the
Kermit.
best Muppets. Like, who are the Muppets, and tell us something about them.
Swedish Chef is pretty good.
Well, I mean,
That's
the
racist.
Well, the Muppets.
That's what they told me. I still enjoyed it.
Is it racist? No.
Yeah, you're racist.
All right.
Is he Swedish?
No. Well,
No, really? He's not even Swedish?
I mean,
I don't. Well, he's a Muppet, Roy.
No,
he
apparently-
doesn't actually exist.
well, it's the Swedes don't think he's Swedish. The Swedes take him as Norwegian or
He's
something.
probably made out of Chinese felt, so he's Chinese.
Oh, hard hit on Aaron's Karuma there.
Yeah, at least I wasn't shot by a rocket and then ran over.
Are there any
Aaron.
controversial Muppets? Like Muppets that, like, a lot of the fans don't like, but, like, have stuck around for a long time?
No. Most Muppets are either have been around since the 70s, or they've been drummed out of the cast pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, even when you think about like the annoying ones, they're kind of endearing.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose my favorite is Kermit the Frog. It's hard to pick a favorite. I mean, I have all 3 seasons of the original Muppet Show. 3 seasons, or however many seasons.
That was a
I
show.
don't get Miss Piggy. I'll
Why?
throw that one out there. I don't get it.
Her character.
She's annoying as shit.
Well,
Yeah.
she was supposed to be like a celebrity diva. That was her character. It's like an over-the-top diva.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
A foil for Kermit, as you will.
What would you say are, like, Kermit's, like, essential traits?
He's kind of like the everyman.
Okay,
Just
sure.
trying to get a
Really?
show
Alright.
running smoothly with everything literally going against him.
Mhm.
He gets exasperated very easily.
Ironically, the guy's fired.
Bringing it back.
I just want to be Kermit.
Seriously, nothing happened this week at all. Like, not even... Like, very few video games were announced. We went to see Spider-Man. That was about it.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but actually, why did no one think to put that on the list?
It
You
is
put
on
it
the
on the
list.
list.
Oh, is it
for
on the list? Oh, okay.
Or maybe check your
the list
phone.
used to be on this computer, and so I now that
Oh
it's
yeah, I
out there-
forgot to pull it up.
Man,
over
it's
there.
a good thing Rory bought that $200 smartphone and doesn't use it. Yeah, Rory, we were coming out of Tim Hortons the other day after the movie, and Rory turns to me and Sandy and says, "Yeah, I'm coming off social media." Oh, that's good, because you were really easy to get a hold of in the first place. Just excluding yourself a bit more. Why don't you move to Bell Island and cut off all communication and build a fill moat around it and fill it with caimans?
build a moat around Bell Island.
Around this house, you fucking idiot. Bell Island's an island. Already has a moat.
I didn't get that from the island in the name that you said.
But for the record, like, no one knows what Bell Island is. An island.
It's
Here.
an
Is it,
island
Rory?
that
It's
people
like- is
decide
it
to
an
live
It's just
on
like
for
it's just
some
like a
reason.
crappy island.
How would you
There's nothing on
describe
it.
the shape of Bell Island?
Kind of
A dick.
oblong.
It's like a floating piece of shit.
Yeah, actually, that's the best summary I've ever heard. We
And-
used to get to go there on
It
It
Friday.
Yeah,
also
makes
looks
sense.
like a turd.
And when you're on it, you're like, man, this is feces.
Yeah, exactly.
The ferries run to that island like 3 times a day. There's maybe,
A lot more than 3 times a day.
whatever. Then how come everybody who lives there's a man can never get a ferry ride off the island?
I like that we're barely in civilization as it is, and people decide to live over there.
You get to go. It's the kind of field
Well,
trip. It's the kind of field trip that you go on, and you can't wait to get back to school. Like that's like as a kid, if you're in like the 4th grade or something, you don't want to go back to school.
If Bell Island was a flavor, I don't know. I can't really
It would
classify
be
it as.
floating turd flavor.
It would be butterscotch, which is
Okay,
actually a
butterscotch
pretty
is
good
good.
flavor.
You take that back.
I like butterscotch.
Yeah. Remember those Dixie cups?
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
awesome.
dude.
Butterscotch
Yeah,
Dixie cups?
those are rocking.
Does anybody else
was
in the
where it's
world
at.
have Dixie cups, do you think?
Probably not. Do we even have them anymore?
Yeah, we do. I saw
We
it in
do.
the store the other day.
Yep.
Do they still have the paper on top?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And they still come with a stick.
What about buried treasure?
No, you can't get that anymore.
Oh.
You can't. I asked people about buried treasure. Nobody else knows what I'm talking about. They think I'm crazy.
I
But
don't know
yeah,
what you're talking about.
It was
well,
like
I guess.
it was ice cream with a wad of gum at the bottom.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it? What was
Are we
buried
thinking of
treasure?
different? Oh, maybe that was it. What was the one where it had like a plastic
Oh no,
stick?
that was buried treasure. Yeah.
What the hell are you thinking of? Ice cream with gum at the
Yeah,
bottom?
there was
What
one that had a gumball at the bottom of
Yeah.
it.
He was
Really?
reusing his old bowl that he put gum in.
What was that? Was that the same thing?
I think it was made by the same company. Man, I'm jonesing for a buried treasure right
Also,
now.
jets. They're like impossible to get, and when you
I think
can
they
get
stopped
them,
making them.
I think you can still get them, but they're like $6 each.
When did we become old? We're just like old people. Like, remember back in the day, you used to be able to get the buried treasure ice cream,
Remember
and the
buried-
custard, the fake custard, used to taste better.
Well, the
back in
buried
the
treasure
day.
was cool because it was like a little plastic stick that had like a figurine on it or something.
I'm surprised Aaron likes that because that sounds something like Aaron wouldn't like. He'd get that as a joke, like, the fuck is this?
Well, I recall liking the ice
Shitty
cream,
ice cream
and it
for
had
this.
a stick. I don't remember keeping any of the sticks, but it was cool to like, oh, what one is this?
Used to be pretty hard to come by too. They weren't in every store.
Yeah, we used to go to, you know, the like where you turn off at like the super localized conversation here, but you know where you turn off to go down to Portugal Cove.
I almost know what we're talking about.
You know that?
Yeah.
That little like corner place. Oh Jesus. Right there that you pass on the left used to be like a convenience store, like a mom and pop convenience store.
Yeah.
And that's where I used to get all that shit.
I know that there used to be a convenience store down in Pleasantville, down by Kitty Vitty, and they used to sell them all the time.
Also, Kazi Kitchen or whatever the hell you're supposed to call it, that's there on Topsail Road. That was a convenience store. What?
Cozy Kitchen.
Yeah, what is a K though? So it's Kazi.
Nah, man.
It's like Mortal Kombat. You're just an idiot.
Yeah, it was not Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that was a particularly bad example.
You got me there. If I'm being honest.
Anyway, they used to have a whole bunch
So
of
buried
cool ass soda pops and whatnot.
You know, when I was a child, one of my dreams was to own a convenience store.
Why?
I don't know. They always just seemed, kind of rocking.
Jesus
I was like,
Christ,
these are
Aaron.
great.
Well,
all
that'll
that
buff
stuff.
out.
Whoa.
What are you talking about?
I buffed out.
Now we get to watch the cool ass replay.
So what do we? I love how we brought up Spider-Man. And then
What was your favorite part of Spider-Man?
No.
I
Buried
like when they
treasure.
find buried treasure.
Um.
Remember the part where they were like, "Yo, man, I could really go for a buried treasure."
So I think we all like
Spider-Man, I'm Tony Stark. I could hit you up with some buried treasure and a Dixie cup.
Did we all like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't as good as buried treasure, but it's up there.
I don't know.
We titled this podcast, Aaron, by the way, "Buried Treasure!" Exclamation point! Question mark!
Buried treasure.
Exclamation point!
All right, so there's been 5 other Spider-Man movies at this point. Is this the best one?
No.
No?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. It wasn't my favorite.
What's the best
bunch.
If you say Amazing Spider-Man 2, I will boot fuck you out to win.
No one.
Okay.
No one here thinks that's the best one.
I
Okay.
think that's the best one.
What do I think is the best one? Okay, for me, it's a tie between Spider-Man 2 and The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Both of which I really enjoyed. So, second Tobey Maguire movie or the first Andrew Garfield movie.
Oh my
I both
God.
really like those.
These were awesome.
No.
Remember Push Pops? Remember
Yes.
Push Pops?
What was your
Remember the
favorite?
Nesquik ones?
Yeah, they were awesome.
Well, I'm assuming, Aaron, your favorite is this one then,
Yes.
I guess, actually, since you
Yes.
posed the question the way you did. Yeah.
Because I don't know, it took the tropes of Spider-Man and was like, oh wait, you know, like it had
That's
a
fair.
lot of these moments where
Yeah. I agree with that,
like
actually.
there's a lot of kind of like they really don't do much of an origin story this time. They kind of allude to it in different parts, but for a lot of the movie, at least maybe the first third, it's kind of like Peter learning to become like an actual hero that's like, you know, been crafted by Tony Stark and he's trying to become an Avenger, like an actual superhero.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is like, you know, preventing somebody from robbing a car, but it turns out that it's the guy who's taking the car is his. Or like, I don't know, taking a cat off the roof or like just kind of like stupid little things that it's like he ends up getting into like an argument with a bunch of people in the neighborhood about some dude breaking into a car and
Yeah.
he's like, sorry.
Oh,
The
man.
best thing about this
Aaron,
movie, I think,
They
is
no longer make buried treasure.
Oh man, that sucks.
it has the advantage of being in a really good continuity.
Do you think we can
Yeah.
make
The,
our own buried treasure?
which is good, which is like
Probably.
which it actually uses the fact that it's in a continuity. It's
Yeah.
not just like a side note. Oh, hey, he shows
Yeah.
up and it's like a big laugh. Like it's actually
I think
useful.
it
to
did a
the
pretty
plot.
first movie that has
Yeah.
been in the continuity, right?
If we were to
Yeah.
get a 3D printer,
Yeah, the
we
first
could probably
Spider-Man movie.
make
Yeah,
it
yeah,
with
you're right.
sticks, and then all would just be a matter of recreating the recipe of the ice cream and then freezing it
Yeah.
in the freezer.
I mean, ice cream's not hard.
No, it's not at all. This is doable. We just need a 3D printer. So, if you want buried
Soft
treasure
serve ice cream isn't hard.
What?
Soft serve ice cream isn't hard. By nature, hard ice cream is hard.
I meant difficult.
The tone is really good. It's like different. It's like it suits the tone of the MCU, but it's its own like taste on it, right? It's just different enough
It felt like
that it works.
It felt like Ant-Man, where it was like this is not so much like the fate of the MCU, but more like a little side story.
Yeah, I thought
I
the
agree.
the scale of the emergency fit Spider-Man.
And
Yeah.
I like that same thing about Ant-Man. That was one of my favorite things about Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Was that like the scale was really good.
Yeah, I think it did a pretty decent job at kind of, and I guess a lot of MCU movies recently have kind of been doing this a little bit, at like cementing themselves into the narrative.
Yeah, I agree.
And this, it's like previously, right after the first Avengers movie, and then it kind of sets up, the story, and then it moves on from there. So it's like, I thought it did a pretty good job. I don't know if the villain was that great.
Well, to be fair,
But
like
I kind of liked it.
I feel like what Spider-Man, because Spider-Man has a lot of really good villains, but the reason that they're good is they all have some tie to Spider-Man. So Eddie Brock, who becomes Venom, used to be like a reporter where Peter Parker worked, and there was that whole rivalry. And Doc Connors, who was the Lizard, was he was Peter's mentor as a scientist. And Dr. Octopus, he just has a long history with Peter. So it's nice having like a character like the Vulture, who's kind of like just a regular bad guy. Nobody's special about him at all, really. Nothing special about him at all, really. He's just a kind of a generic supervillain. You can put him in and not have him be. You don't have to establish a lot of backstory. Like that's why I didn't like about the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. It's like he picked the Lizard. And the Lizard is one of the most interesting Spider-Man villains because of his history with Spider-Man. That's why Spider-Man is very conflicted about taking him down, is because he's Dr. Kirk Connors. He's Spider-Man's mentor. Spider-Man's not going to be that, is going to be conflicted about putting him away and ruining his life and career and that sort of thing.
That's a good point that I never thought of.
But with I forget his first name, Toomes, the Vulture. He's just some dude who wears a Vulture costume and flies around and steals things. Like, yeah, you can have him as the villain. You don't even need to establish him. Like, they gave him the backstory they gave him for this one was actually much better than the one of the comics. I think one of the comics
I think my problem with, I don't think that's not my issue with it. My issue is, it seems like any character that wants to become a villain somehow then, or even a superhero, somehow then adapts or evolves like superhuman traits. Like, oh, I'm just some old dude that can fly around in a suit and like smash into a jet at 1,000,000 miles an hour and I'm still fine, or land on a beach at 1,000,000 miles an hour and I'm still fine. It's like, you're just, at the end of the day, yeah, okay, Spider-Man, he has some superpowers. He got bit by a spider. It's like kind of a throwaway line in the movie, because before then it's like
seriously,
does he actually get bit by a spider, or is he just some kid that made a web and then shoots around the city?
Well,
but this is just some old guy.
If you don't know how Spider-Man got his powers,
yeah, but I know the stories and like the comics and stuff, but unless they say in the movie it is what it is, then you don't know if it is, Like Uncle Ben isn't mentioned.
Actually.
No, he's saying that, yeah.
Well, is it
Aaron's
the Spider-Man
saying
that's been bit by a spider, or is it the Spider-Man that was birthed by a giant spider?
Yeah, Aaron's
So they could
saying that
shoot
it should
out
be
of his
stated at
actual
some
wrist.
point, which it was in this movie, like,
Yeah,
at least vaguely what the origin
unless
of
they say
Spider-Man
that
was.
Peter
Yeah.
was bit by a spider and he got superhuman powers, then it may just be a kid with webs that shoots around. Because it's not like the Sam Raimi movies where it comes out of him. It's just canisters. So, like, is it like Peter? Is it like Tony Stark, where he just made a web thing and shoots around the city?
Yeah, but in the original comics,
Yeah, but I'm not comparing. Like, there's so many different variations of who Spider-Man is that I need to know what one you're doing.
Yeah.
And what one is in the movies. And so they mention that, and in this, it's just like the Vulture is just some guy in a suit. Like, he's not a superhero or a supervillain. He's just some old guy. So, like, why is he a hard fight for Spider-Man? It's like, it's those elements that they put onto some of the hero. Like, even Iron Man is like, he's just a guy. He's not a superhero.
I really like the fact that Spider-Man had such a hard time with Vulture, because I can imagine if they do a whole series of this Spider-Man with this kid, I forget who plays Spider-Man. What his name?
Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. If they get Tom Holland to do a bunch of these movies, in movie number 3, if he's taken on a bunch of dudes, like the Sinister Six, like let's say they do a Sinister Six Spider-Man movie.
Try that again.
I like the idea that he's become more confident. So where in the first movie he had a really hard time taking out Vulture alone, now he can take on Vulture and the Rhino and Shocker and Scorpion or whoever else they're going to throw in there. Just pick a verb or a noun, or pick a noun and throw it in there. And he can take on a bunch of them. It shows a real growth of the character. Jesus, that guy.
Also, I'm pretty sure the guy talking to me right now is the guy who plays Merc in the first Mirror's Edge game. Didn't really pick up on that before.
Man, those are super not realistic dust clouds at all.
But yeah, good movie. Good MCU movie. Most of the MCU movies are good. So
I gotta be honest, I was very distracted by there's this very minor twist at the end where, and it really doesn't matter, but there's a girl throughout the whole thing that you get the sense is going to become Peter's love interest later on, and she's never named. So it's like, oh, is this Gwen Stacy or is this Mary Jane? And they're
what do you mean?
like,
But that's not a question.
Oh,
you
wait,
mean...
no, I know what you're talking about. No,
okay,
I was misinterpreting what Adam's saying. Keep going, Adam.
And so, at the end of the movie, they
I also
finally name her,
misinterpreted.
and they name her Michelle. I'm like, who the hell's Michelle? It's like, I actually prefer the name MJ. I'm like, well, that your name... What? Why would you change that? Why not just have her name be Mary Jane? Why?
Well, maybe her middle name is begins with a J.
Yeah, but why have that fake out? What's
I
the
don't know.
point of that?
Again, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's established in the comics that her name is Mary Jane, but it's like they need to reestablish these things because they're changing little things.
No, but he's saying, why would they change it from Mary to Michelle?
You can still...
I don't know. Who cares?
Well, it's
Why would
kind
they
of
make
established-
Spider-Man black? I don't know.
What?
Why would they make Spider-Man black and change his name? That's cool. A game crashed. I might have just exited. I don't know what I did. I was just pressing back.
Michelle versus
Why would they
Mary.
make Spider-Man black? Rachel. I don't know, because maybe they've had 60 fucking years with the character and they wanted to try something a bit different.
Well, there you go. You just answered it yourself.
Yeah, but there's... Like, I don't understand why... I don't care the fact that her name's Michelle. It gives Spider-Man a new love interest for all I care, but what is the point of making her Mary Jane, MJ, when she's not going to be Mary Jane? Just have a new character.
Maybe they
she's
didn't want to, like...
the same
maybe
role
they didn't
as
want
Mary...
it... They probably didn't want it to have, like, the marijuana stupid undertone. Like, maybe it was just something they came up with because they were all high out of their minds and like, oh, let's call her Mary Jane. That'll be funny. And everyone will be like, oh, man, that's a cheeky joke.
Maybe they forgot her name that day, and it was just the best hit they did. And they're like, we're sticking with it. Let's go with it. Let's just hang it up.
Also,
I want to go home.
I don't know how I feel about Karen, Spider-Man's personal AI assistant in this movie.
The suit.
On the one
who's
hand,
Karen
I like
supposed
that.
to be in the comics?
No, I don't think there's a Karen.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I was just
in the
wondering,
comics.
why did they call her Karen?
don't
That's a
know.
very 60s name. Like, oh, it must be some
I mean,
other
maybe
character.
it's a reference that I'm just not getting up, which could be because there's a lot of Spider-Man characters. Like, I'd say there's over like 1,000 different Spider-Man
Like,
characters.
what should I call you, Sue Lady? It's like, oh, you can call me Barbara Gordon. Like, wait. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's cool. It gives,
Wouldn't it
like...
be cool if you called her Gwen? That'd be a cool little nod.
Yeah, unless they plan on doing something there. I don't know.
Probably not. Well, then they have her name be... Instead
Shitty
of
name
Gwen
for a suit,
Stacy,
though.
be Fen Smacy.
I think it's fine. Like, it gave... For a better part of the movie, it gave Peter, who was alone most of the time,
Something
you know,
to
a
talk
way...
Yeah, I agree. I like
Yeah,
that.
a way
Rather than it being an
well,
inner monologue,
dialogue.
it's like I have somebody to talk to.
Unfortunately, he's not alone for nearly enough of the movie, though, because he has the world's most annoying sidekick character.
I thought he was alright.
I didn't mind that
I
guy,
actually thought he was
actually.
okay.
Yeah.
He was really
I
annoying.
mean, when you're looking at
Well,
like
you've gotta-
15-year-olds, I think that was a pretty tolerable character.
I suppose. He's definitely better than
And you do have to balance it
T.J.
with the-
Miller in Transformers 4.
You got to balance it with the fact that a lot of the
And
movie does
Anakin
take place in
Skywalker.
high school, which is just fundamentally an annoying fucking time.
You should have got Jake Lloyd to be the sidekick.
Yeah.
What do I do? How do I defeat the Vulture? Try spinning. That's a good trick.
Be like,
Whoa!
try spinning, that's a good trick. And as he's getting taken away by the police. Try spinning, that's good. Woo!
Whoop!
Oh shit, gotta go. Try spinning later. Yeah, no, he was wearing like that hat, and I was like, oh, it's a fedora, great. He's gonna do like a milady thing, but it was none
Thankfully,
of
he
that.
did not.
Yeah, did you see my reaction?
Yeah, you were like, you leant back and were like, God damn it. Like, audibly, God damn it.
Because in the movie, they're going to a party. He puts the fedora on this kid. The kid is fat, and he's
from
Peter
FTPH,
Parker
though,
and
with that
Aunt
hat.
May is like, oh man, let's. That's a very stylish hat. He's like, thank you. It makes me feel cool or something like that. I'm like, please let that be the end of it. And it was, thankfully. They didn't do like.
It gives me confidence or something.
whatever. Also, I found the fact that, Aunt May was 35 and everyone kept saying how hot she was. I found that very distracting.
Yeah, because they also, I feel like they made Marissa dressed like she was way older.
Yeah.
Like, why are you wearing, like, those aviator glasses in 2017 as, like, a 30, 40-year-old or whatever, however old you are? I don't know. It was a little, like, you could be... I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to say trying harder because that sounds like I'm being a cat caller or something like that. But I feel like it was done intentionally to make her look older than she was.
Yeah.
I thought the glasses were just that nod to the.
Maybe she's just like a nerdy old woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, fair enough.
Those were the glasses that Aunt May wears.
Yeah. Again, but who fucked the comics? That's like the comics are used as like a reference. It seems like.
I don't care the fact that she was younger. That part doesn't actually bother me. It was all the sexual jokes that came out about it that was kind of creepy, I thought. But I mean, that's just me. I mean, I do want to say I'm coming down. It seems like I'm coming down pretty heavy on this movie. I really did like this movie. This is probably one of the top superhero movies to come out this year, easily tied with Guardians of the Galaxy for me. Because let's not forget that also came out.
Yeah.
And Guardians
I
of the
definitely
Galaxy,
liked it better than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Did you?
Yeah.
I really like Guardians.
I like
too.
both, but I definitely like.
My only real problem with it was that I think the main love interest, at least for this film, felt like way one-dimensional.
Well, yeah, but you kind of knew that at the end of the movie something was going to happen to her. Like,
yeah, but it seemed like a lot of wasted time. Like
I will say that twist involving her, and I'm not going to spoil it because that's an actual spoiler, was pretty cool. I did not see that one coming.
That was actually, I agree, that was well done.
Yeah,
that was clever.
Yeah. I don't know, it was a good movie.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I
would recommend going to see this in theaters. Because if it's... I mean, all the Marvel movies... I mean, even the worst of the Marvel movies are at worst passable. But this is really good. You should see this one. It's definitely not like Thor 2 or Iron Man 2, where it's...
Or even Thor 1, which was feces.
Yeah, I thought Thor 1 was garbage.
Thor 1 was better than Thor 2.
I don't know.
We can all agree that
I was distracted by Natalie Portman in the first Thor movie. She was like sopping wet for Chris Hemsworth that whole movie. It's like, calm the fuck down. Yeah.
Yeah, but Kat Denning had a bit more of a role in the second.
Kat Dennings.
I don't give a fuck, Rory.
Rory cares, and he's gonna be all over it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think? What do I do on this show if not correct people's pronunciation?
Damn right.
That's what I'm here for.
Rory, we've been hanging out. We've been friends for 10 years. I'm getting it's starting to grate a little bit, if I'm being honest.
So, speaking of bugs, and Adam loosely mentioned Ant-Man earlier, I had a run-in with ants earlier this week.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, you told me about this one.
Yes.
This is out of like a fucking horrible John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, I had a run-in with some nightmare fuel, and anyway...
Did you get film of it?
No, I took some very loose photos, but it was more or less just for reference, because at one point we were hanging a bucket off the ceiling. I'll get to that. Anyway, so we were playing some games here. We might have even been playing GTA that night. I can't recall. But I ended up just encountering a bunch of ants on the floor, and well, it was on the wall first, and then on the floor. And I was like, all right.
In your room?
Yeah, I'm in my room, walking around on the floor here, and I was like, all right, that's too many ants. That's too many ants for just to be a coincidence. Ants getting in the house. Something's going on here. So anyway, I went downstairs. It was nighttime. It was probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know, for some reason I decided to immerse myself in the horror atmosphere and just use my iPhone light instead of turning on the lights in the house. And I think it was more running down the stairs or walking down the stairs fast and then realizing, hey, that's an ant on the floor. And, oh, wait, there's another ant on the floor next to it. And then my brain doing the zoom out on the panoramic of the room and realizing there's fucking ants everywhere. I'm literally standing in a minefield of ants. So then I, of course, perched my feet up to the balls where I could then just tippy-toe around the room with my iPhone light. And, you know, let me preface, I'm not afraid of bugs. I don't mind ants. Really don't bug me all that much. This was fucking nightmare fuel. Like, all these ants just everywhere. On the ceiling.
Ants?
What?
Just black ants?
I don't know, just like black ants, small, big ones,
All
carpet
red.
ants, little scout ones. All of them. Every ant ever in the universe. And so I was just walking around and squashing them, as many of them as I could. And eventually got to the source of where the ants were coming in, which was in the bathroom, which was crawling like all over the door, all over around the bottom of the door gap, all that stuff. Ants everywhere. Open the door, and they're pouring like a viscous water out of the ceiling vent. And it's
That's
like,
gross.
Yep, it's like, oh man, that's fucking disgusting.
Why?
I don't know.
Has that ever happened before?
Nope. So I have no idea what they were doing. We went outside and found that they were crawling up underneath like a layer of foam or something, and I guess getting in through the wall and then climbing in through the bathroom vent.
But why would all of
Somehow.
them come in?
I have no idea. Maybe
I mean, I've had ants in my house before, but it's always been like one ant. And
yeah. I guess they were looking for a new nest or something, a new like place to sell up.
I
don't
really hope you got all of them.
Yeah, then we, pried the vent off, killed as many of them as I could. My slippers were literally sticky with ant guts. Like, I got so many dead ants on my shoes that I gotta, like, wash these off. I must have killed, like, 500 or 600 ants, maybe even more than that, just walking around, stepping, poking them off the ceiling. So what we ended up doing then was
Did you alert your...
Oh, yeah, I was like... There's fucking ants.
I just love the idea. You go to your parents' house in your room when they're waking up. You're just standing over and like, why? It's like there's fucking ants.
Like I know it's 5 o'clock, but there's a shitload of ants.
I need your help.
So
Bring your iPhone flashlights.
It's super bright. Like, anyway, so I was like, well, I can't go to bed now with this fucking nightmare fuel down here. So I did, and I just stayed up and killed a bunch of ants. So we ended up taking the vent off and hanging a bucket. So that when they came in through the vent, rather than falling on the floor, they would fall into the bucket.
What'd you put in the bucket?
About an inch of poison.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, there's something in that bucket.
Yeah. So, and so that was kind of the resolve of it. We put a bunch of poison around the perimeter of the house and all that kind of stuff. But just the sound, you could hear them dropping into the walls of the house. Like if you just stood in the bathroom, like silently, you could hear them like scattering and dropping like rain. Like into the walls, and you could hear them like. Eventually, it got to the point where there were so many in the bucket, you could just hear their feet like. It was really disturbing. That soundtrack.
So how many were in your room?
Poison.
In total, there was probably 20 or 30 I killed in here, which is not bad. There was a fuckload more downstairs.
At that point, there was a lot. There was what?
There was way more downstairs.
Was there any other rooms that had ants in them?
No, I don't think so. I think because the bathroom downstairs is almost directly below my room. I think they came up through. There's a outlet without a cover on it behind the TV. I think they were crawling in through there.
Yeah.
So that's what
see,
happened.
I would have fucking like just. If it was me, I'm not. I don't mind bugs, but I hate like having bugs in my home. I don't know. There's something about that creeps me, especially a lot of them. So I would have just like phosphorus grenades everywhere. Just burnt the house down.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was bad. It was a bad time.
So did you seal up the hole with foam?
No, we left it and we put a bunch of like sticky pads, like those fly trap things, and it was looking like Flanders Fields or something. Down there were just like hundreds of ants, missing pieces stuck to it, all like crawling, trying to get the glue off their legs and stuff. And I was like, "Fuck you, you shitty assholes! Get out of the house."
Have you had any more problems with it?
No, that was it. It was
Why the fuck?
I think we just like committed mass genocide on that whatever
wipe
it
the
was Sunday
hive
morning.
out.
Do ants, Adam, you'll know this, do ants do anything like good for the environment?
There's actually no such thing as an ant, Rory.
It's a fish if it's in the water.
I mean, every animal serves a part of the ecosystem, but I mean, some are...
Okay, if we kill all the ants, does anything bad happen?
Yes.
What?
If you kill all of anything, something bad's going to happen.
Okay, what happens if we kill all the ants?
A lot of
They're the main
animals go without food.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, ants are like the most populous species on the planet, are they not?
They're up there.
I think there's like 80 billion of them or something like that.
There's something like that. They're very there's probably more than 80 billion.
Is that true? If you kill all of anything, something bad happens?
Well, no, it's not
Yeah.
something bad. Is that another species will probably die.
Well, it's a domino
Humans
effect.
are fine, so no, it's fine, bro. We kill all the ants. I'm fine without
system.
ants, personally. Kill them all. We don't need them.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're done with ants. As a species.
Also mosquitoes.
Okay, well, let's set up two universes. Universe A is the one I'll live in, where I'll have the ants, and Universe
And the
B will be
X-Men.
the one.
Sweet! My universe doesn't have any ants. Screw your universe.
Also
universe
Gold
And then
Con
we'll,
or something.
we'll come back in 5 years, and then when yours is fucking going down the tubes because somehow Roy can't figure out how to program ants into.
I'd be very fascinated to see what your Marvel universe looks like.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There would only be like Bugman
Sorry,
or
Paul
something.
Rudd. Get another job.
Yeah.
He'd just be called Mini-Man or something.
Go make
Shrink
Baby
Man.
Mama 2, Paul Rudd.
Last week was
He
also
could be called
interesting.
Shrink Man, and he would actually be a shrink as his job. And then he'd be like, shrink by day, shrink by night.
That's true.
That's
I think
That's the fucking tagline
Got
right
it,
there.
Stan. There you go.
yeah.
Job done. MCU complete.
I also had a couple of not as many as Aaron. I had about 4 spiders in my bedroom this week. So that was
Yeah,
kind
I
of-
called Adam a pleb at one point, I think, for only having 4 spiders.
Yeah.
Like, man, 4.
Well, I tried to kill one and it fell down. I didn't know where it went, so I was kind of nervous about where it was because I don't like the idea of it crawling on me in the night. And then I saw it immediately. It comes like, is it gone? I went under the wall.
And it shot like a ketchup packet exploding onto the wall.
I
Man, I love ketchup.
may have put a small dent into the wall with the force I hit it
Oh.
with.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What else we got? Well, Evo's happening, whatever that is.
That's true.
What is Evo?
So Evo is like the essential tournament for all fighting games, which Adam is done with. The Muppets he's down with. Fighting games are a no-go. The
Oh my God. Hang on.
There's a
I'm
Muppets
coming
fighting
back
game.
for this. Hang on. I brought up the Muppets once in the past 3 weeks. Every time I hang out with Rory, he's like, so, there's a new Excel spreadsheet for fucking Hogan's Hero, whoever that guy is. And if you play as him, anyway, there's this guy called Stinky Feet, and he plays all of his female cat girl characters don't have feet or
If I were
something.
you, I'd be offended as shit.
Yeah, no, this is a
Roy, how
startlingly
come you don't
accurate
have
portrayal of me.
animals?
I'm offended very much.
How come you don't have
No,
animals?
it's like the fighting game tournament. So if you play Smash
Oh, you're right.
or fighting
It's
games,
really warm in here.
No, it's not.
they have this tournament, and this is basically, I mean, like, it's a stretch to call anything a world championship, but
No, I'm good.
yeah, so this is where it all, like, sort of culminates. So it's happening, it's over by the time this podcast comes out. It's over. It just happened. You're gonna have to, like, watch it on YouTube or some nonsense.
What's that raspberry ale in here?
It's alright.
Can I have one?
You can if you want one, yeah. If
It
you don't
ran
drink
Friday
all,
through
it's fine.
Sunday, and I hope it was good.
So this is the #1 Tekken tournament in the world. Yes, this is the first time
This is the Tekken tournament, the like essential Tekken tournament.
this is the first time they've gotten to play a Tekken tournament with Tekken 7, right?
This is the first time since now. They might have done a previous tournament with like the arcade machines. That I'm not sure about. But like it's the first time since Tekken 7's been out. So yeah, yes, actually, it's the first time that all the players, all 1,200 players, who showed up,
1,200 players.
1,200 Tekken players
That's a
showed up.
lot in the tournament.
That's not even like all the games. That's just Tekken.
Do they all
I
get to
thought
play?
the 12 universe tournament going on in Dragon Ball Super, wherever universe had 10
Exactly,
fighters,
yeah.
was a big tournament.
So this is,
So-
for point of reference, like many times more than that.
So how many games are there, like, in a day? Like, there has to be, like, a lot.
There's like five games
5
total or
whole
whatever.
rounds.
And they're all playing like, and the finals for most of them happen
How
on
do they
like
manage
Sunday.
that?
So
the-
it's not like an elimination tournament where you fight, like, 2 people, like, you eliminate more people as the tournament goes on until there's only, like, 2 left in the championship?
that is exactly how it goes.
Oh.
And it just takes a very long time.
It seems more like a coin toss than actual skill.
It isn't, and it's interesting to me that you think it is.
Yeah, but people might have a shitty game or something, you know?
Oh, that's true.
It's best of 5, isn't it?
It's actually for the pool play, which is the stuff at the beginning with like everybody playing. They just do best of 3 to speed it up.
Well, that's a bit better.
Yeah, it is better.
So
yeah.
they play 3 games at least.
They
Or best of 3
Well,
games.
no, so they play 2 games.
Okay, I thought it was just one round and you're gone.
Oh no, that would be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Screwy.
It would be a coin toss.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you because sometimes guys will have a bad round. But yeah, so that's happening. I was watching it before I came here, and most of these players I don't know because they're just randoms and they're gonna lose.
So who's favored to win?
JDCR is favored to win, and I don't know if he's played yet, but I saw one of the other guys who's favored to do well.
Your stinky feet or whatever?
No. I saw one of the other guys play who's like one of the top 10, and he wiped out his opponent in the first round. Like it was pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
He's been reading those spreadsheets.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah,
Wasn't counting those frames.
If people are wondering what this spreadsheet thing is we're talking about, if you want to be like a high level Tekken player, or even just like competitive, like online, you need to know what's called like frame data. So like obviously fighting games move very quickly depending upon what fighting game you're playing.
What if you're playing
fast.
at like 200 frames a second, Roy? Is it still the same?
Well, I guess not actually. Then if you're playing at 200 frames, well,
So how come there's not like multiple spreadsheets for like variable frame rates?
because everyone's playing at 60 FPS.
Oh.
And
What Nazi agreed on this standard?
Got you there, Roy.
And so they you want to know like this move I'm doing, how long does it take to execute, right? Like because like if that guy's doing a faster move, he's gonna beat me. If I'm doing like his big slow move, he's gonna hit me first with his fast move. So like if his move only takes 2 frames for whatever reason, my move that takes 20, this is a random example that doesn't exist, he's going to win that encounter, he's going to do damage, and Tekken isn't like Injustice where you have like a bazillion health bars and it takes forever to kill somebody. Tekken is quick.
So you need to know each move has each... Oh, alright. Well, okay, so each character has certain moves and you gotta memorize each
how long they take. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want to know as many as you can because not only are you playing as your character, but who knows what the opponent's going to pick. That could be anybody. So you want to know like what options he has from certain positions.
Why doesn't everybody just pick Kazuya and do the dragon uppercut like my cousin used to do with Tekken 2? That for somehow, we tested out with like 6 different characters, would interrupt every one of my attacks, power on through, and hit me.
Yeah, so do they need to play as the same character?
No, you can change your character throughout the tournament a bunch of times.
So if you have a guy called, like, his screen name is, let's say, I love Yoshimitsu, Yoshimitsu lover _ S66, Yoshimitsu is the best XX, who only plays as Yoshimitsu, wouldn't he be at a disadvantage?
They're going to say he plays as, like, Saggy Panda or whatever the bigger character.
Wouldn't he be one people who like it's like Senior Sneaky Feet or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
He plays as that cat.
What the fuck
right?
is he talking about?
What? There's this guy. His name is Feet, and that's like his name isn't Feet. His name is Uwe. But they call him Feet because he only plays female characters and he always takes the shoes off.
No, this isn't a character in the game.
This is a person. Yeah. Who plays characters,
thought it was a character.
And he always takes the shoes off of his female characters, so they call him Feet.
Oh,
but like,
so does he play one-handed also? I bet he plays one-handed.
So yes and no is the answer to your question, Adam. Yes, a person who plays one character is at a disadvantage because you know what character they're going to play, and at the same time, they're at a bit of an advantage because they probably know that character so intimately. So it's a toss-up or a trade-off. But there was a player, Yoshimitsu, and he does not play as Yoshimitsu. Or did not during his match today. I'm like, wait, what?
Seems like a lost opportunity right there.
Yeah. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe he's just maybe his name is Yoshimitsu and he was actually around before Yoshimitsu. And it's just this is unfortunate.
Seeing how one is a traditional Japanese name, probably not.
Oh man, he should have been OG Mitsu. That would have been perfect.
OG Mitsu. That's gonna be Aaron's Tekken screen name. OG Mitsu.
I might call that might be the name of the business in GTA.
That's a great name. OG Mitsu, that's a great screen name, Aaron. Is
that the body diaper guy?
Yeah, Heihachi is the body.
Right.
Yoshimitsu's the dude with the sword.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He always has a cool design. Like they always do a good job with it.
Except in this one where he's become Cthulhu or something.
Yeah, he's like an octopus creature. But you can change that because Tekken 7 has so much customizability. You can give him like a moose head or some shit.
Well, I will say his best ever design was in Tekken 4 where he had like wings.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I gave one of my characters wings. You can do a lot. You can add a shower head to your character in Tekken 7 if you're a freak.
Like for a dick?
No, there's like a shower head that's over their head and it just like pours water down.
Oh, they like replace your dick with it and it would shoot water out of it.
No, but you can do like lots of. You can put a bunch of bricks on your character's head.
Can you hit characters with the bricks?
No, they just stand there. It looks really dumb.
Stand? They have feet?
No, you don't need feet to stand.
Don't you?
Well,
I mean,
That's not me questioning Rory. That's me questioning like his question because I'm not. Rory might be correct here.
like yeah. So like.
Could you stand on the nubs if I were to cut your feet off? Could you do that?
Yes. Well, I mean, someone with better balance could.
well, I feel like the
That sounds
knobs
so
then
strong, Roy.
become your
Just cut
new
off those
feet.
and find out.
If something is standing, whatever it's on is its foot.
No.
Yep.
No.
Is this lamp on its foot?
Yeah.
It's on its base.
Yeah, you could stand on a base, like a microphone or a lamp.
Or Echo?
Well, let's all agree that I'm right and move on.
Took me a minute there. But yeah, so Evo's happening, so I hope you watched it.
If not, it sucks to be you, nerd.
Yeah, go back and
Check the
watch
highlights on YouTube like a filthy casual.
It's sort of a thing. Like, even though as much as like this is gonna be like a watch tournament, because obviously all the games are popular, especially Smash. Like Smash is crazy popular. Like me and Adam both know a bunch of people who are really into Smash.
Yeah.
And like
it's the same people.
But
I think they haven't made a Smash game in like 7 years.
The thing about fighting games.
When was the last Smash game that came out?
They're always. I have no
2
idea.
years ago
actually.
for the 3DS.
Oh, that doesn't count.
They're always
and
going
then
to
a
be
year after for the Wii U.
There's always going to be unpopular. Fighting games are always going to be necessarily less popular than a lot of other games because they're really friggin' hard. And it's just it's sort of like it has a bit of what racing games have, where like you don't want to go on autopilot for a lot of playing a racing game, right? Like you want to be in the moment and be thinking about like Aaron's not just.
I'm not thinking about
like maybe
anything.
this is I don't know, maybe this is an easy track and I'll play this game, but like.
This game is not easy.
Aaron's taking all the advice that the movie Cars had to give to him, so it's
Yeah, thanks, Owen, for that.
But in a fight, you're not going on autopilot ever in a fighting game. If you stop moving for a second, you're already dead. It's over. And
just like a real fight.
It's demanding. Yeah, actually, yeah. And it's like demanding, and a lot of people don't want to always be like going intense for like 5-hour session of video games. Like
I know somebody who really likes that car.
Oh man, is he sitting next to you?
He is.
It's me.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like that car, yeah.
That is a nice car.
Well, he bought it in GTA.
It was not wearing those fucking headlamps.
What else do we have? I'm surprised we got this long out of this podcast. I'm surprised we got this long out of this podcast.
I mean, I just want to mention briefly the remastering StarCraft 1 for PC.
What is that?
StarCraft?
Is that an RTS?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, you bet.
You don't know what StarCraft is?
I mean, I've heard of it, but that's about all I've gotten of the many years it exists.
It's probably my personal favorite RTS out there, and I know there's better examples of the genre now, but I had such fond memories of it growing up that it's always has
Also,
that
Queens
place
of the
in my
Stone
heart.
Age was just playing.
Oh really? Which song?
The pills in the throat thingy. I don't know.
Oh,
That's more of a Red Alert guy.
yeah. I don't know. There was something endearing.
No
about
one knows.
There you go.
Sorry.
Oh, I like that song.
Yeah, it is a good song. Yeah.
Probably my favorite by them, actually.
I like that they also used that song for the Grid trailer. Same company.
Oh really?
Maybe they like Queens of the Stone Age. I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe Rory's secretly in charge.
Yeah, I run the show. Sorry, what were you? Yeah, StarCraft 1
Well, there
is
was
getting
something endearing
remastered.
about the fact that every time you clicked on a unit, it would say the same thing over and over again. So when you're trying to get the Marines your little group of Marines to flank up to the left, and you have to click a bunch of times in a row to get them where you want them to go, they go, get it done. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it. Give me something to shoot. Give me something to shoot. Give me something to shoot. Yeah, I'm on it. Give me something. Yeah,
That's
I'm
cool.
on it. Give me something to
Glad
shoot.
that's not annoying at all.
The
There's something endearing about that, especially like how cheesy the whole thing.
Who made
was.
it? Who made it?
Blizzard.
Okay.
It came out. It was not their first RTS, although it was more popular than Warcraft.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. I
eventually
just remember
switched
seeing it every time I went to the game rental store. I was like, I'm gonna not.
Well, it
get
was
that.
it was especially like back in like I don't know what it was like the late 90s. It was a huge deal.
97?
It came out in 97. That's right.
I got introduced
It
to
was-
Red Alert, and that was like my replacement for that game.
Fair play. It was a huge deal in Korea. Yeah, like StarCraft was massive. There were like 6 stations that played nothing but freaking StarCraft.
To the point where when StarCraft 2 was announced, and I didn't notice until later, the original announcement trailer was in Korean. And it took them a few days to translate it to English. And I was like, why? Why would you announce it in Korea? Oh, because it's the most popular game.
And esports is really taken off in Korea.
Just like nuclear missiles out of
definitely a different Korea, but
Did you know that according to the North Korea state-run newspaper, that in 2016 North Korea won every single gold medal in the Olympics?
That's pretty impressive.
That's very Rory. That has to be the best record.
Yeah,
and they won every gold medal in the in Sochi as well in the Winter Olympics.
Also impressive.
China won every silver and Russia won every bronze. Rory, do you know where United States placed in this whole list?
Ooh, I imagine it was probably not very high.
Oh, no, Rory. Somehow,
they were
despite the millions of dollars that they poured into all their athletes, they came last. Every single event. Like, that's pretty fucking shameful.
Yep.
Thanks, Obama.
Does nobody in North Korea question it? Like,
yeah, everyone questions it.
Yeah, I know, but they should have been like, okay, we can't win all of them. That's ridiculous. Let's lose like 3.
No, well.
Then they're like, oh man,
there gets to a
we
point
lost
where
3.
dictators start to drink their own fucking Kool-Aid because I forget his name, but the current leader of Kazakhstan has a 98% approval rating, and I think it just went up to 99%. That's pretty high.
Like just now?
Yeah, like fucking Avengers 1 doesn't have 99% approval rating. But yet this guy managed to pull it off.
When you put it like that, dude, it really does sound more impressive.
Holy hell, it's hot in here.
But yeah, StarCraft is it's
Sweden.
Cool. If you haven't played the first StarCraft, well, for one thing, the non-remastered version is free.
I don't even know what it looks like.
So
I assume Feezy.
Yeah, it's free now. You can just download it.
Get it? It's absolutely it's a really good game.
It's totally worth it. StarCraft
holds up.
is an absurdly big deal in my office, where 2 out of 4 people working in the office are working on StarCraft related things.
The original StarCraft?
They're doing OG StarCraft.
Get some Zergs in there, get some Hydralisks.
And it's so, like, every Friday, when we all collectively share with each other, like, what we've been doing, like, it's, like, a lot of, I see a ton of, like, intricate StarCraft details. It's, like, stuff you wouldn't think is, like, changes things, but these guys, like, StarCraft people are, like, very
what do you do in
finely
StarCraft?
detailed.
Is it like what Rory? Is it like what your approach to Tekken?
Kind of, actually, yes.
Man, the turbo's so loud.
It's intense stuff. So, what do you do in StarCraft? So you face off. So it's like it's a me versus Adam. We're playing StarCraft.
This isn't gonna go well for me.
And Adam's somebody, and I'm somebody else. And
why can't we be both Adam and Rory in this hypothetical situation?
No, what I mean is like...
Well, that's down their side of the game.
What do you mean we're playing different factions?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're Protoss, I'm...
That's exactly right, actually.
When did you guys become different people?
No, like...
Well, it's whenever Jordan got tired of
So we're playing against each other, right? So it's a 1v1, and basically I have to do things with my units that are better than what Adam does with his units. We're both commanders of these forces. Adam's commanders of his human force, and I'm commanders of my non-human force. And, so it
has nothing to do with stars.
Well, it takes place in space.
But can you go to other planets?
Yes.
Like within the game? Or is it a load screen?
It's a load
screen. It's not like an adventure. It's like a...
Yeah, but I know, like, you're building a base on a planet. Do you then, like, I'm going to build a base on another planet, and it's all in the same game?
No, it's not a 4X game. It's just an RTS, so it's...
Yeah.
So it's not as in depth as say Civ.
Stellaris is what I'm looking for
here. Yeah, it's not. You're not. Masters of Orion.
Why can't you be Stellaris Super 90s?
Because Stellaris existed. Why would they want to be Stellaris when they could be their own fucking thing?
Oh man,
and there's also StarCraft 2,
broken.
which exists and is also.
Can you go to other planets in that?
What, StarCraft 2?
Yeah.
There are different planets in these games.
Okay, but all right. Is it like a generated thing, like every time, or is there like canon stuff going on?
Yeah, it's canon.
Okay.
There's established planets like Char and what's the Protoss planet?
Protoss.
Ire. My life for Ire.
And it's Yeah, play it. It's pretty complicated, but if you get into it, then
the campaign is good. If you want
Yeah,
to get into
well,
it.
yeah,
Although it ramps up when you hit the Zerg.
and I mean, ultimately, like what happens to every StarCraft player is they play StarCraft. They play the campaign. They're like, I'm really good at this, and then they hop online and play an actual like player who really knows what he's doing.
Second, Sandy?
And they're like,
sure.
They're like,
Can we
oh,
swap the
I'm
controls?
terrible
really
at StarCraft.
fucking bad at this.
Do you want me to swap the controls?
Sure,
You can stay
whatever.
there. I'll give you the controller. Hang on.
Okay. X and beer change gears.
Maybe someday we'll do a video
Okay, that's not
in
fucking
StarCraft.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's
If
so
we can,
hot.
if we can get it to run, yeah.
Oh, we can definitely get it to run.
Does it work on like modern stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One really cool thing I liked about Blizzard is I got an old
Good,
copy
is
of
it in
StarCraft
difficulty?
from my cousin. He just gave it to me. He's like, hey Adam, I was cleaning out my basement and I found this copy of StarCraft and Diablo 2 and Half-Life and a bunch of other games.
Scroll
Do you
down.
want them? Yeah, I said. So
Those are all good games.
I loaded up StarCraft and it was like, this doesn't run with your thing. I'm like,
There you go. Send me out.
God damn it.
Cool.
But I had an
We'll
account
go
with
with
Blizzard
automatic
at the
one
time,
up because I
Blizzard
can't
Battle.net.
hear
It
the
popped up
engine.
and it says,
Yep.
we can we just
There you
like got a ping that you
All right,
tried
how do
to
I
download.
just unpause? What story?
No, you can just use the controller still.
You tried to download StarCraft 1, it didn't work. It's not working on your
Event?
computer. Would you like the free update, the modernized version of that?
Free play.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would, and they gave it to me for free.
Yeah,
And then-
exactly.
And then it worked.
And BattleNet is actually, even though I just have an inherent bias towards things that aren't Steam, BattleNet was actually a really good launcher. I say was because now it's like called like Blizzard Launcher or whatever.
I thought it was like
To be
BNet
honest-
or something.
Yeah, go ahead. Be honest.
B-ball
Far away.
net.
Everybody's like, oh, Steam is the best when it comes to that kind of stuff, and it is, but I feel like people really don't talk about all the bad stuff Steam does quite as much, unless you're Jim fucking Sterling's son.
I
Like
agree.
what? Like what? Let's do it. Let's crack it open.
What's bad about Steam?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, to be fair, they kind of addressed this recently, but for a while there was a fucking oversaturation of terrible games that was absolutely dragging down the medium.
Yeah, okay, but they addressed that.
Kind of.
Sort
They've
of.
kind of addressed that. They've kind of addressed it by cutting off. The reason that they brought in all that in the first place, because it was so hard to get games on the Steam that no indie developer could do it. And then they're like, well, we'll open the floodgates and let everybody do it, which was the exact wrong thing to do. And so now indie developers found it just as hard to get their stuff on the Steam, because even though it was on Steam, nobody was reading it because it was just drowned out in the flood. So now, and then they got rid of that whole thing, so they're right back to square one, where good indie developers can't get their stuff on
Not really.
Steam.
No, I thought they moved it to a system where you pay $100 and then you can put your game on Steam.
You can, well, there was that, and there was still Steam Greenlight, which you could just,
But that's gone now.
yeah. And now you
Yeah,
can
so
pay
it's just you pay $100 and you get to put your game on Steam.
Yeah, but I think there are still people who are paying $100 to put their stuff on, like their trash up on Steam.
Yeah, you can put a trash game on Steam for $100, but the problem was a lot of the garbage that was on Steam was like 15 different versions of essentially the same code reskinned to be a different game. Now, like people who do that aren't going to spend $100 to put every piece of shit on Steam. Now.
Probably not. No, they have.
Yeah.
I will admit they have addressed this problem. There's also the fact that Steam is, in terms of. I mean, I'm not saying Steam is bad. I'm just saying that there's parts about Steam I don't like.
Yeah, it could be improved, and I feel like they're looking at it at least. I mean, their refund thing is getting better, and I feel like in many ways, Steam kind of spearheaded the digital refund thing.
They have. I'll give you that one.
Which is great because I recently purchased Hyper Light Drifter, and then I was given a copy of it, so I just refunded the one I bought. And that was
Who gave
great.
you Hyper Light Drifter?
I don't remember. It was either one of my Twitch friends or it was part of the Humble Bundle. I think it was part of the Humble Bundle.
It was part of the Humble Bundle. It just
Yeah.
came in the.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think of it, because I really liked it. Oh man, there's the Master Sim.
Are you a Humble
Is that
Monthly
the
guy,
Is that what
Aaron?
the Master
Yeah,
Sim
I
was
started,
supposed to be?
Yeah, me too. I also did Humble Monthly. So what was the?
The game that got me in?
Yeah, because there's always the game.
Stellaris.
Stellaris, yeah.
I was like, man, Stellaris is like $50 on Steam. It's, if I get Humble Monthly, $12.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they gave me
Amazing
like
air
6 or
conditioning,
7
no
other
air
games. Like at the end of the month when it's
Yeah.
over. It's like, you get Stellaris, and it came with Brigador was another one that it
Yeah,
came with. Like
that's
Brigador and Stellaris, like, alright, I'm totally in with Humble Monthly.
The
I'm totally all
the
about
one
this
that did
now.
it for me was XCOM 2.
Yeah. This month was a little weaker, I think. You got Hyper Light Drifter, you got Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
What other games?
I forget. Yeah, those are like the two standouts. The other ones I don't recall knowing.
I don't recall the other ones either, actually.
Well, Dark Souls 2 is definitely the weaker of the Dark Souls games.
Oh my!
Man, you did a full Star Fox.
I thought I was gonna thread the needle.
The
Anyway, it's
next month
for
is looking
$12.
pretty good. There wasn't there.
What's the next game
There are 2 big next games for the next month now.
that we already know about?
Yeah, that we already know about.
Oh, I thought it was just one that they did.
One of them is cool, and one of them is an NBA game.
One of them is cool.
Yeah, and one of the,
What's the cool one?
I forget what it is. I feel like kind of a dumbass because I was like, oh, cool, that's being released. I seem to remember being cool.
Can't even look it up.
It's definitely Tekken 7.
That would be a great deal, though.
I wouldn't be mad about that because that game is like what, $70 or $80.
Brand new game, get it for $12.
It's like $70 or $80 for the standard edition, but for like the turbo edition, it's $100.
Can somebody explain to me how
Pillars of Eternity.
Pillars of Eternity, which is a great game. Yeah, sorry.
I already own it, but
Can someone explain to me how?
How fucking Humble Bumble, whatever, works in terms of not. I know how it works as a service, but how they make money.
Okay, generally, I don't know how it works. I think it's a lot on the game developer's part to be like, yeah, you can do this.
Okay.
But there's different. There's a Humble store which has pretty good discounts most of the time, except a lot of the prices aren't adjusted for Canadian. So let me give you an example.
Yeah, true story.
Dirt 4, when it came out, I didn't get it right away. There was a 10% discount if you got it before it was released. If you got it after, I think it was $59.99, which is like, all right, I'm gonna get Dirt 4. Man, that's a right turn there. Anyway, so I was like, well, let's see if it's on Humble, and I went on Humble, 10% discount. Like, oh, cool, 10% discount. In American, made the game, I think 60. I don't know what it was with tax, but I think it was like $64.
Yeah.
I was like, this is more expensive 10% off than it is full price on Steam. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, so sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I think the thing that attracts people to it is Humble Bundle, which is generally like a developer or even just a bunch of different games. They'll have they'll tier off the games. They'll have like 4 or 5 games. You can get it if you donate $1.
Come on.
You get $1 donation, you get those games. If you donate and it kind of changes.
Yeah, it'll do like 5,
just press down on the
15, and
D-pad.
30 increments.
Yeah.
You get different games, and that was the first thing I ever did with Humble Bundle, was actually got a bundle.
You can just press down on the D-pad, Sandy.
I don't want to.
You've already lost more than 4 seconds.
That's all right.
All right. Yeah, so that's a great service. And then Humble Monthly is...
Humble Monthly is really...
At the start of the month, they announce a game, or 2 games, I guess, that you get right away. And it's $12. And then at the end of the month, or the first week of the next month, they release 5 to 7 more games that are part of that pack.
So it's a $12 a month
Yeah, so
gaming
generally...
subscription service. And you get to keep them forever, even if
Yeah.
you cancel your subscription. PS Plus, take note.
And Xbox Live.
Yeah, some of them are then
Yes.
tied to... Some of them
That
are
came
then...
up on the ice. That came up on the track.
Oh yeah, yep. You can either get the Steam key, and some of them you can get DRM free versions, like on GOG or something like that, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it's usually like between $150 and $200 worth of games that you get.
Yeah,
So it's totally worth $12.
Yeah,
especially if you like buying games all the time.
Yeah, it's
so.
an absurd bargain, and the games are usually like
Hey, it's Trevor Noah.
there'll be some cool games you haven't heard of.
Oh, that guy.
But there'll be like there will definitely be like games you have heard of, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm getting this. Like we were saying, like XCOM 2, like Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that, but generally it seems like the games that are part of that bundle is like games you were eyeing but never bought.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even for me, I own like way too many Steam games, and still they're like, oh yeah, I wanted that, but I'd never bought it for some reason.
Yeah. It's really cool. I think I actually got Super Hot off of a Humble Monthly, which is a great game.
Yep.
So just to clue up here, because I'm dying.
Yeah. It's
Are
pretty
you?
hot right now where we're
You guys
at.
find a warm?
Yeah, actually, Aaron, fuck you.
I am super warm
just,
also.
Aaron, talk to me about Dirt 4. How does it stack up to the rest of the Dirt games?
Um,
WRC.
I'm liking it. I'm liking the feel of it. It doesn't feel as arcadey
yeah.
as the Dirt used to feel.
Is your name Aaron?
I'm sorry. I wanted to give you my fucking input.
So there's a kind of a discrepancy. Dirt 3 came out. I think Dirt 3's Dirt 1. Jesus Christ, with these bikes. Dirt 1 was great.
Sandy, you are what you eat.
Dirt 2 sucked.
That didn't work in my favor.
Dirt 3 was a return to form and pretty good. Then Dirt Rally came out, and I think Dirt Rally was a bit too hardcore. It was very like you know, steering wheel and hardcore sim. It was a great game. It was just very, very unforgiving. And this, I think, is maybe more of a mixture between the first game and Rally. There's like some elements of arcade. Like if you want it to be a very arcadey experience, maybe if you're using a controller, you can turn a lot of the simulation elements off and make it more of a approachable feel. You know, make the car handling a bit, you know, arcadey. If you're not about that and you have a wheel and you want to like do that, then you can set up a wheel, and there's a lot of different simulation settings that you can turn on and make the game unbearable with a controller. Because it's very it's great. It feels like in the franchise that is the Dirt games, excluding the Colin McRae games, but just the Dirt games, this game feels like a PC game. That's what I like about this one. It feels like it got rid of that kind of that console novelty, you know, where it's almost like we polished it to make it look appealing to you because it's actually not great, but this is as good as we could do with a console. This feels like it's like, here's the game, here's all the settings, go have fun with it. We don't care about what you do. And I really like that. It feels like a really approachable yet open experience. It's probably the best Dirt game. It's also got this cool generate a stage feature, which gets a little generic after a while. You start to recognize some of the corners over and over. But it allows you to generate a stage, pick the length, pick the complexity, in 5 or 6 different environments. So that essentially, yes, they get generic, but essentially it just keeps the spirit of rallying, which is not knowing the course off by heart. You got to go as fast as you can through unknown countryside. That's what rallying is, and that track generator thing allows you to do that, which is great. And you know, mix up the variety a bit and have fun with it. Because in the old Dirt games, they didn't really have a whole lot of rallying content, which kind of sucked.
Yeah.
So the 5 or 6 stages that were in the game, you start to really memorize them and know the corners and when you're supposed to approach and all that kind of thing. So this definitely keeps the spirit of it going, which is good. I recommend picking it up, especially if it's cheap or part of a humble monthly or something eventually. Because Dirt Rally was part of one a couple months back.
I have Dirt Rally.
Yeah,
I've never touched it, but
Thanks,
it's
humble.
there. If I ever want to try playing Dirt for whatever reason.
And it's also got Rallycross and trophy truck stuff as well, so that's cool.
So you like this, Andy, do you?
Oh, fucker.
Yes.
Yes, basically. I'm hesitate because I want to know more about how many different environments there are. Like, I hear what you're saying about the track generator.
Yeah. Ultimately, I feel like there's more rallying content in this game than any of the other ones.
Yeah, and
I
was kind of disappointed with the old Dirt because of that reason.
Yeah.
Like, I have a loathing for Rallycross. And,
You got a problem with your brakes here, but
what?
there's a lot of grinding going on when you press the brakes. Anyway.
That's all right.
Also, that's kind of cool too. They added like a mechanical failure. It's kind of like a dynamic thing. Like if you're really hard on the car, different parts of it will fail just dynamically.
Yeah.
Like you'll fuck the brakes and then your brakes don't work, or a tire will pop, or you break the engine, or the transmission's rattling or something.
I really like how I didn't fly 15 feet off the track and then immediately get teleported back on. I actually did
That
enjoy
happens a lot.
But yeah, with Dirt, it wasn't really scratching that itch for a rally game because it didn't focus on the rally specifically, so I had to...
Oh, man.
Whoa!
That's
Go back and put an Emerald G noise on that.
That wasn't intentional. Yeah, so I went over to the WRC official game, and that's what I've been playing for a long time.
I haven't played any of those.
This one, it feels like it's missing out on a lot of the tight corners. I don't know if that's just kind of luck of the draw.
It could
of
just
what
be, depending on what course you pick. I mean, you can change the complexity of it so that you can scale it up to have more tight corners if you want.
Because it's really throwing me when the little fuck, I don't even remember what the name is for them, but like it's telling me the turns that come up, and it says, "Hey, you got a hairpin coming up." It's not a hairpin.
Yeah, well, she might. Yeah, you really kind of need the audio calls for it.
Yeah,
she might say
I'd say it's like it's like
you get a hairpin
3
icon, and then she says open hairpin long 150 or something.
Yeah,
so it's like it's a hairpin, but it's massive.
For what I'm used to, it would be like a 3, maybe a 2, but
yeah. So did WRC use the 1 to 6 as well? That seems like it's a pretty common standard.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
also, yeah.
Fucking fine.
At the end of this as well now, instead of just ending when you cross the line, you got to drive to the marshal.
Yeah, and it does take a lot of the control back. I don't know if that's a setting you can turn off.
Yeah, you can't turn it off. I have it turned on so I don't run over somebody by accident. Because even though I've played a bunch of this, I always forget you got to drive to the marshal. So I'm just like, as soon as I cross the finish, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm like, oh shit, wait, I gotta keep driving. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess that'll do it.
Yeah.
So it's a fun game. And nothing happened this week.
Yeah, we'll be back next week when hopefully something's happened.
It won't. We'll be back next week to have another long, rambling nonsense podcast.
Once again, for 3 weeks in a row, we'll say hopefully something happens next week.
Yeah. San Diego Comic-Con this...
It was just